Okay, so this week we're dealing with another favorite of mine when it comes to horror subgenres. We're dealing with the Anthology. So, without further ado, let's get into that. Number 10, a little bit of a newer one. All Hallows Eve. Now, of course, this gave us Art to Clown, but it also was a pretty cool, very atmospheric movie, and I think it's essential viewing on Halloween every year. So that's number 10. That's All Hallows Eve. Number 9, we've got Nightmares. This was a movie that I seen when I was a kid and forgot all about it until Scream Factory released it on Blu-ray a couple years back. The segment about the arcade game seals it for me. So that's number 9, Nightmares. Number 8, probably the essential predecessor to the VHS series. It's Southbound. Pretty solid anthology, everything happening in the desert. I don't know why they never made another VHS, but this is kind of what the same people came up with after, and I'm happy with it, and I just wish there was a Blu-ray in North America for it. Number 7, well, it's probably the biggest budgeted film you're going to find on here. It's Grindhouse. Just 2 stories, but one of them is by my favorite director of all time, Quentin Tarantino, and it's probably his weakest film, but still in the combination here with Planet Terror, I think it deserves a spot on the anthology list. So that's at number 7 right there. Grindhouse. Number 6. I count this as an anthology because if you're not going to count this as an anthology, you probably couldn't count My Door 1 movie as an anthology either. It is the first Waxwork. Always liked that one as a kid. I remember seeing a trailer for it while watching WWF Saturday Night Main Event and realized that I had to see it. And when I did see it, I was not disappointed with it. Number 5, it's HighEight. Probably the highest ranking for an independent film on this whole list here. This is made with some of the best shot-on-video directors of all time, and the end result is really good. It's just a shame they kind of botched it when they made another one this year. All right, up to number 4 now. We have the already mentioned before VHS series, and this time it's VHS II. One of the best anthologies I've seen, the best VHS movie in the whole bunch. I don't know, the first one disappointed me, the third one was horrible, but this one is a really good anthology film if you are into those. Number 3, it's the timeless classic Creepshow, one of my favorites of all time. I guess I really don't have to say anything else about it because if you've seen Creepshow, you know what I'm talking about. So that's number 3, Creepshow. And while it probably needs one more segment, number 2 is Creepshow II, which is an anthology that I've seen a million times. Had it on a tape growing up, watched it forever. Loved the Chief Woodenhead, loved the Raft, even loved the Hitchhiker thing. Although, like I said, the 4th one that I never got the film for it would have been great to have had. So, nonetheless, as it was, it's all filler, or excuse me, boy, that was botched. It's all killer, no filler for number 2 with Creepshow 2. And number 1, all-time favorite, one of my all-time favorite horror movies in general, it's Tales from the Hood. Now, growing up as a teenager in the late 90s, late 90s, this came out when I was still in between my probably younger days into my teen days. I think it came out early 90s, so this was probably a movie that represents the decade quite well. And if you was into rap music and stuff like I was at the time, it really represents kind of what I was into at the time. And I remember watching on HBO late nights when nobody knew I was watching it, and it just kind of freaked me out when I was younger, especially the ending of it, and I love it now. So that's my top anthology film. It's Tales from the Hood, as I throw it on top of Creepshow there. So there is the anthology list. What do you guys think? Let me know below, and maybe chime in with what you guys like.